Teachers' pay should be increased due to their responsibilities, the importance of their jobs, and the fact that teachers' quality is diminishing due to wages. Teachers often say they don't do their jobs for the money, but in about any career decision, financial incentives are certainly a factor. If there was a cash bonus on the line, would you work harder on your job? More importantly, would extra money make you a more effective employee somehow alone? There are also fears among educators that the unpredictability of the pay scale will discourage people from considering teaching as a career. Teaching is not a job that pays. The person doing the job requires input a teacher invests in teaching time and effort. As in other endeavors, when the results are worth the investment made, an individual can weigh at the end of the exercise. Such professions require a tangible output to see on the basis of accomplishment. There is no difference in teaching. The real rewards a teacher receives are the student's success. Students who do not perform well may cause a serious break in the life of the teacher. Therefore, when schools do not perform well, one can safely assume that this situation also has a negative impact on teachers' morale. With the teacher's current predicament, one might ask what these teachers will lose if their students are not doing well. Even without a bonus up front that could be taken away for poor performance at the end, when students fail, teachers will lose something. It's known as pride. In fact, this is quite obvious. Some of the statements reaffirm that belief that teachers are not working for money alone. That's the truth. Teachers are making sacrifices. Teachers see their rewards through their student learning. When one dictates in detail what needs to be done within the classroom, the teacher takes the teaching away. When a teacher cannot support his or her family with the pay he or she receives, another source of income needs to be found by a teacher. This takes time away from the schedule of the teacher. Time that might have been invested. These factors add up. The teachers do not identify the work within the classroom as their own. So if it fails, there's no loss of pride. The classroom should have a well-educated professional teacher, and school systems should recruit, prepare, and retain qualified teachers to do their job. In practice, however, many policymakers have recently come to believe that this failure can be remedied by calculating the improvement in the scores of students on standardized math and reading tests, and then relying heavily on this calculation to evaluate, reward, or remove the teachers of these tested tests. While there are good reasons to worry about the current teacher evaluation system, there are also good reasons to worry about claims that measuring the effectiveness of teachers largely by students' test scores will lead to improved student achievement. If new laws or policies specifically require teachers to be fired, if the test scores of the student do not increase by a certain amount, then more teachers may be finished than is the case now. But there is no strong evidence to indicate either that the departing teachers would be the weakest teachers, in fact, or the departing teachers would be replaced by more effective teachers. There is also little or no evidence to support the claim that teachers will be more motivated to improve learning for students if teachers are evaluated or monetarily rewarded for gains in student test score. Standardized student test scores are one piece of information to be used by school leaders to make judgment on teacher effectiveness. Such scores should only be part of a comprehensive overall assessment. There are a number of factors that have strong influence on student learning gains. Apart from the teachers to whom their scores are attached, this includes the influence of the other teachers of students, both previous teachers and current teachers of other subjects in secondary schools, as well as tutors or educational specialists. who have often been found to have very significant influence on achievement gains. Such factors also include school conditions, such as curriculum, materials, quality supports for specialists, and tutoring, class size, and other factors. And other affecting learning, skills that have pulled out, teamwork or block scheduling practices can only inaccurately isolate the effects of individual teachers for assessment, pay, or disciplinary purposes. Teachers should be held liable for learning gains or losses during the summer as they would be if spring-to-spring test scores evaluated them. There are quite substantial gains and losses in the summer. Indeed, researchers have found that, based on the scores of students during the school year, three-fourths of schools identify as being in the bottom 20% of all schools, and would not be so identified if difference in learning were taken into account outside of school. Similar conclusions apply to the 5% of all schools inferior. Although, the various reasons for being skeptical about the use of student test scores to evaluate teachers along with the many conceptual and practical limitation of empirical value-added tests may suffice to make us wary of the teachers' move to test-based evaluation. They take on even greater significance in view of the potential for major negative effects of such an approach. Using test scores to assess teachers unfairly disadvantages teachers of the students most in need, due to the inability of value-added methods to fully account for differences in students' characteristics and support for schools, as well as the effects of loss of summer learning. Teachers with the greatest educational needs will seem less effective than they are. This could result in the appropriate removal of low-income and minority student teachers as well as students with special educational needs. Relative value-added metrics do not accurately capture the success of such teachers. Teachers are also likely to be aware of personal circumstances like an illness and a divorce that may affect the learning gains of individual students but are not captured by value-added models. Teaching will have incentives within a school to avoid working with such students likely to downgrade their efficiency scores for teaching. Over the next decade, performance-based pay will likely continue to grow in popularity. Like any issue of educational reform, the argument has two sides. Here we look at the teacher's performance-based pay pros. Number 1. Motivate teachers in the classroom to make improvements. Pay system based on performance offer, teachers are reward based on performance measures, typically linked to student performance. These measures are based on educational research and are a set of best practices aimed at boosting the overall results of students. In their classroom, many of the best teachers are already doing many of these things. For performance-based pay, they may be asked to take it a little above what they normally do, or it may motivate low-performance teachers to get their act together to receive their bonus. Then make it possible for teachers to receive a higher salary. People do not typically become teachers due to wages, but it doesn't mean they don't want more money or need it. Sadly, a relatively large number of teachers throughout the country are taking up a second job to keep their family financially afloat. In addition to providing teachers with more money, performance-based pay motivates them to meet targeted goals while doing so. For both the teacher and their student, it is a win-win situation. The teachers make more money and they get better education for their students in turn. Then he invites the competition to increase the performance of the student. Pay based on performance create competition between teachers. The better the performance of their students, the more money they receive. Higher results translate into higher pay. Teachers are by nature often competitive. They want to succeed their fellow teachers, but they want to be more successful than they do as well. Healthy competition encourages teachers to improve, which in turn enhances for learning for students. When the best teachers work hard to stay at the top, everyone wins, and mediocre teachers work hard to improve enough to be considered one of the best. And lastly, help in recruiting and retaining teachers. Pay based on performance can be an attractive incentive, especially for young teachers who have too much to offer to pass on. The extra work is worth the higher salary for passionate teachers. What is needed now is a comprehensive system that provides teachers with instruction and feedback, supporting leadership, and working conditions to improve their performance, and that allows schools to remove persistently ineffective teachers without distorting the entire curriculum by imposing a faulty system of standardized teacher quality quantification. There we go. I have given you 3 paragraphs of explanation of why should teachers get a bonus when their students score well on standardized tests. This is due to problems with students, the school, and the teachers. Thank you for allowing me to express my feelings.